It started with music, fame, power, but by June 2025, Diddy Combs wasn't headlining stages, he was on trial for his life. What you're about to hear isn't just rumor, it's courtroom testimony, evidence, and the story of how an empire built on stardom may come crashing down. Do you think power protects people from justice, or just delays it? Drop your answer in the comments. The public persona versus the private reality. Diddy Combs wasn't just a name in music. He was the music. The man behind Bad Boy Records, the icon who gave the world Biggie, Mary J. Blige, and the blueprint for hip-hop luxury. He preached black excellence, threw white parties no one missed, and made billions while doing it. Every headline branded him as a mogul, a tastemaker, an untouchable force. But beneath the diamond watches and designer suits, prosecutors say another version of Diddy was taking shape. Behind closed doors, away from flashing lights, a much darker empire was allegedly being built, one carefully hidden, ruthlessly maintained, and now unraveling piece by piece. You can build a kingdom, but secrets don't stay buried forever. The trial begins, June 2025. By June 17th, the courtroom was still, but not from boredom. It had been 6 weeks of testimony, transcripts, and timelines. But silence fell not when someone spoke, but when the jury saw what couldn't be unseen. For the first time, video evidence of alleged freak-off sessions recovered from Cassie Ventura's laptop and another seized device was shown to the jurors alone. No media, no press, only expressions. Some jurors blinked rapidly. One reportedly turned away. The footage, combined with financial receipts, travel logs, and encrypted messages, painted a picture of a world more controlled and more violent than anyone expected. The trial wasn't theory anymore. It had receipts, footage, a paper trail. And suddenly, Diddy's defense got a whole lot harder. Shock is powerful. Proof is something else. The Cassie connection. She was his muse, his partner, and for a long time, the silence behind his success. Cassie Ventura's relationship with Combs spanned over a decade. But in that long, glamorous shadow, prosecutors say there was fear, blackmail, and psychological control. Not just from him, but from the machine around him. Testimonies from Cassie's mother and closest friend turned the narrative into something chilling. Baby oil, candles, a straw glide. Setup instructions delivered to staff before private hotel sessions Diddy allegedly called freakoffs. Then came the threats. Her mother recounted wiring. 20,000 after Diddy allegedly threatened her Lisa tapes. Cassie's friend claims she was bribed with a 20,000 after Diddy allegedly threatened her Lisa tapes. Cassie's friend claims she was bribed with a 30,000 NDA after witnessing an assault. To the court, these weren't stories, they were strategies. Abuse followed by silence. Power doesn't just seduce, it isolates. Kid Cudi, firebombs, and fear. You don't expect rap beef to end in smoke and shattered glass. But in May 2025, when rapper Kid Cudi took the stand, the courtroom shifted. He told the jury that after a brief relationship with Cassie, he returned home to find his dog locked in a closet, and shortly after, his car firebombed. He never said Diddy did it, but he never believed it was random. Then came the bombshell, testimony from Capricorn Clark, once one of Diddy's most trusted executives. She told the court that Diddy wasn't just angry, he was plotting. Allegedly driving through New York, gun in hand, telling her, "We're going to kill Cudi." Paired with the break-in, the scorched Porsche, and missing evidence, silence in that courtroom held more weight than noise. This wasn't just obsession, it sounded like a hit. System of silence, NDAs, and payoffs. Violence creates fear. But money? That creates silence. Testimony after testimony showed the same pattern. Someone got hurt physically, emotionally, or worse. And then came the offer. An NDA. A wire transfer. A warning. One witness says Cassie handed her a $30,000 non-disclosure agreement after she saw a violent assault. A hotel employee described being paid to pretend the chaos never happened. Broken furniture, soaked curtains, and melted candle wax scrubbed out of sight for a price. Then there were the threats. People who talk about me disappear. That's what singer Dawn Richard testified she heard. From the tapes, Week 6 bombshell. It was the moment everything changed. For 6 weeks, it had been testimony and shadows. But in Week 6, the courtroom watched something that ripped speculation into fact. Actual video clips, recorded, dated, and shown only to the jury. According to prosecutors, the footage came from Cassie's old laptop and a confiscated smartphone. It showed her and other escorts performing explicit acts while Diddy allegedly watched silently from the corner. Cassie often appeared tense, trapped, and not in control. The videos were mashed with hotel receipts, travel bookings, text requesting 3 a.m. entry, timing lined up, expenses connected. Intentions, according to the prosecution, were impossible to deny. And for jurors, it wasn't just what they heard anymore. It was what they saw. Allegations became evidence, and denial became a much harder sell. Alleged criminal enterprise. This wasn't chaos. Prosecutors argued it was structure. They claimed Sean Diddy Combs didn't just commit isolated acts of abuse. He orchestrated them. A long-term system involving drivers, assistants, and event planners, many of whom testified that they took orders, handed over money, and cleaned up after violent freak-off sessions. From flight logs to encrypted texts, credit card bills from Bad Boy Entertainment to drug sourcing, jurors were shown a map of events that connected across years, cities, and victims. Witnesses said the gatherings weren't accidental. They were calendared. The defense and countdown to verdict. When the government rested its case, it dropped like a hammer. 34 witnesses, hundreds of exhibits, and a culture of intimidation unfolded in detail. Diddy's defense? A whisper by comparison. Just a handful of character witnesses. A forensic psychiatrist. No strong rebuttal. And most notably, Diddy chose not to testify. Outside the courthouse, chaos. Protesters, fans, media swarming. Inside? Silent tension. The judge ordered both sides to deliver their closing arguments by June 27th. Jury deliberation would begin just days before the 4th of July. The pressure? Palpable. Because if found guilty, Diddy wouldn't just lose freedom, he'd lose control of a legacy decades in the making. And for the jury, the question wasn't just, did this happen? It was, is he the one who made it all happen? The verdict looms, life or legacy. As the jury filed out and closed-door deliberations began, the world held its breath. Sean Diddy Combs is facing 5 felony counts, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for illegal acts. If convicted on even one, he could spend decades behind bars. If the charges stack, he may never leave federal custody again. More than witnesses, more than tapes, this came down to belief. Did the jury believe the employees? The insiders? The footage? The fear? And could they, beyond a reasonable doubt, say that this wasn't just excess, but something designed, funded, and sustained? The verdict could drop at any time. One vote could decide whether this is the fall of an empire or the escape of a lifetime. Power protects until it doesn't. Sean Combs built more than hits. He built a global brand. But what started in boardrooms and award shows is now being dissected in court. And this isn't just about one man. It's about an entire system built to shield him. The tapes were played. The witnesses spoke. The receipts were unfolded in front of 12 ordinary citizens. Now, we wait. If you want updates the moment the verdict drops, or to dive into the wild world of celebrity trials, abuse of power, and fame gone wrong, subscribe now. Because this case is far from over.